Hello, friends. Could a few basic ingredients truly transform into something so complex and delicious? And what does it take for a Filipino baker to dedicate their life to the intricate world of sourdough? Before you take your next bite of sourdough, we'll answer the mystery of how a simple mix of flour and water turn into something so alive, so flavorful, that people line up for it. Today, we're stepping inside W Bakehouse before sunrise to uncover the surprisingly delicate, almost magical process behind their sourdough loaves. Tara na, let's go see.
Welcome to W Bakehouse!
Join us as we uncover the passion and skill that goes into creating this beloved bread right here in the Philippines. Are you prepared to be amazed by this culinary journey? Every employee is required to follow sanitary kitchen practices. The oven gets a thorough cleaning. In this episode, we explore the step-by-step process of making sourdough bread. We go behind the scenes at a Filipino bakehouse and see how artisanal sourdough bread is crafted from start to finish.
Welcome to W Bakehouse. So today I'm going to show you our dough. So this dough has been mixed at 6 a.m. and it underwent autolyse for about 2 hours. Autolyse is what they call, yun yung term, when we let the flour absorb the water. So now it's a more cohesive dough. And I think it's the best time to actually mix the starter in. So Aldrich is going to mix. He's going to put starter on our dough. Aldrich, by the way, is our head of production. And he's joining us for today's production. So Aldrich is going to put in 1.2 kilos of starter in this batch. This is going to make 12 loaves. So this is active starter. You will know that it's active if it's airy, and you can also smell. It's very fruity. And what I do is, I just mix it in by hand. So i-dimple mo siya until it mixes well. So during the pandemic, when I started this business, I was doing this alone every day at 4 a.m. So it still triggers memories. And now, up to today, we still do hand mixing. We do have a mixer, but we still prefer to do this by hand. So this is the process. Day one, we make the starter. So the starter it just requires feeding. So to compute how much we need, we need to know how much product we need to make. And then there's a certain percentage of starter. We have to feed it, put it in the fridge, and turn off the fridge for it to inoculate and mature. Once it matures, then it's ready for production. So it's now ready for use to mix in. And then once we mix this, we ferment it. We bulk ferment it for about 3 hours. Tapos we do a series of stretch and folds. And we do our cutting. We shape. Tapos we shape, we put it into bannetons. We cold proof. And then we bake it the next day. So one product actually takes 3 days to make. So it's very labor intensive and very hard to make. There's a bit of appeal of it being hand mixed. Because after all, it's an organism that's alive. So it wants to be touched. Gusto niya yung microbacteria from your hands. And sometimes it even gives you character. It gives your bread character, depending on which hand touched it. Huwag lang masyadong marumi. So we're almost done. going to? Right, so production today is about 100. Yeah, we're making more than 100 loaves today for our B2B customers, our online orders, and we have a pop-up store in SM Aura tomorrow, so we're preparing for that. So as you can see, the starter is almost mixed in completely, almost. I can see some wet spots pa, but maybe in a few minutes, it's going to be ready.
Let's rehash how to make sourdough bread. The starter. Our story begins with something that looks, honestly, a little strange. A living, breathing container of fermented flour called the starter. This is where all the flavor comes from. No commercial yeast, no shortcuts. Just wild bacteria and yeast that the bakers have been nurturing for years. It's fed like a pet. Flour, water, and time. And here's the crazy part. This container is powerful enough to lift dozens of loaves. It's the heartbeat of the bakery, and without it, nothing happens.
So this is our sourdough starter. For us, I think it was how bread was designed. Talagang when the Egyptians got to interact with bread, ito talaga yung ginagamit nila to leaven bread. So what's inside the starter? Comparing it to a commercial yeast. Yung commercial yeast, isang strain siya ng yeast. Ito, multiple strains of yeast, and meron siyang wild bacteria. Meron siyang bacteria, and every time ihahalo mo siya sa bread, the starter actually digests it digests the anti-nutrients in flour. And so it's a healthier way to really make bread, and we swear by it. So I want to talk about the starter. Pinapakain namin siya a day before the production. Lalagyan namin siya sa fridge, and we turn off the fridge kasi every time it's cold, nare-retard yung process of really digesting the flour and water. So once we take it out, it starts inoculating, and it eats the food, which is flour and water, and it starts at a very low level. Tapos umaangat siya every time nagpe-peak. So once it peaks, this is the time we use the starter. So this one is almost peak. We're waiting for it to reach the top before we go into production.
Mixing the dough. Once the starter wakes up, the bakers mix it with flour that has been prepared with water and salt. Sounds simple, right? But here's where the first twist comes in. Sourdough dough is intentionally made wetter than most bread dough. And that high hydration is the secret behind those big, glossy air pockets everyone obsesses over. To get that texture, the bakers don't knead it with machines. They rely on technique and time. The autolyse and rest. Before anything else happens, the dough gets to rest in a stage called the autolyse. It's like letting the flour and water talk to each other, quietly building gluten on their own. This step doesn't look dramatic, but it changes everything. Flavor, texture, even the shine of the crust. It's a perfect example of how great sourdough isn't rushed, it's crafted. Bulk fermentation. Next comes the part that surprises most people. The dough doesn't rise once, it goes through hours of slow fermentation where the real flavor develops. Shaping. When the dough is finally ready, it's turned out onto the table. This moment is always a little tense because the bakers have to be firm enough to shape it, but gentle enough not to lose the air they just spent hours coaxing into it. You can actually see the baker's style in the final shape. On the day of filming, the sourdough had to sit for some time before it could be cut and shaped, so we moved on to the ones already prepared and in the banetones. Scoring. When ready, the dough is firm and ready for its final transformation. Before baking, every loaf gets scored with a razor blade. This isn't just decoration, it controls how the bread expands in the oven. Some bakeries do simple cuts. W Bakehouse often adds the leaf patterns, giving each loaf a signature identity. It's the bakery saying, "This one's ours, made for you." Proofing. Here's a step almost no one outside a bakery sees: fermentation. Once shaped, the dough rests, developing deeper flavor and a darker caramelized crust. This slow, cooler than room temperature proofing is part science, part tradition, and part artistic choice. Proofing baskets are key for slow fermenting breads like sourdough. That's why they're often called sourdough baskets or sourdough banetones. Without them, your loaf would be flat and wide. Think focaccia. It's why good sourdough tastes like good sourdough. Layered, complex, slightly tangy, and incredibly fragrant. For sourdough baking, using the right proofing baskets is essential. Sourdough proofing baskets, also known as banetones, help maintain the shape of the dough during the final rise. Many bakers use a simple, non-traditional method with a plastic container or bowl lined with a cloth, which allows for good airflow and moisture control. Using these baskets ensures the sourdough loaves have a better rise and crust, preventing them from becoming flat. A bread lame is a small, very sharp blade that's used to score bread before baking. The purpose of scoring bread is to help control the way it rises in the oven. A simple slash creates an intentional weak point for the dough to expand through, so that the dough is able to rise into a controlled shape. But a good score is more than cosmetic. Creating a break in the dough's surface tension also allows the bread to expand to its full potential, making for a light, even, and more open crumb. Baking. Finally, the loaves are loaded into a blazing hot oven. Water is sprayed, and steam fills the chamber. This combination of heat and moisture creates the crust, shiny, blistered, crackly, cooling, and finish. Straight from the oven, the loaves rest, crackling as they cool. This sound, tiny pops as the crust contracts, is the final sign that the loaf was baked perfectly. And yes, the bakers really do wait before slicing. Cutting a loaf too early traps moisture and ruins the crumb. Patience makes better bread, again. And that's how W Bakehouse makes their sourdough. Not with shortcuts, but with time, technique, and a living culture that connects every loaf to the next. Next time you taste their bread, you'll know you're tasting a process that started days before you ever stepped inside. Techniques the bakers use to achieve perfect texture, crust, and flavor. The fermentation and baking process that turns simple ingredients into a beloved loaf. Insights into how a local bakehouse preserves tradition and supports communities. Why W Bakehouse chooses to bake everything sourdough, the naturally leavened way. Although their process is tedious, complex, and sometimes unpredictable, they take pride in choosing the longer route so everyone can experience real and honest bread. No shortcuts means inconvenience, but passion in creating slow fermented handmade goodies is what they truly stand for. Flour, water, and salt are the only ingredients you need, plus a healthy and active starter, of course. Their whole wheat sourdough remains to be one of the best sellers in their naturally leavened, slow fermented breads lineup. How to tell if your sourdough bread is real, according to Paolo of W Bakehouse. Number 1. Sourdough does not have instant yeast. If it says instant yeast anywhere in the package, then it is not a real sourdough. Number 2. When you break open the bread, the inside, the crumb should be irregular and not tightly uniformed. The bread should be chewy and airy at the same time. Usually, if the bread has instant yeast, the crumb is really tight. Number 3. The sour taste is naturally occurring, and it doesn't seem planted, so it has undertones of sourness. Number 4. Ask the baker about their product. Usually, the baker that is open about their method and ingredients normally gives you a genuine product. Buying from small bakeries can be a great way to find genuine sourdough. And you are paying for man-made labor, not machine labor. Whether you're a foodie, traveler, or cooking enthusiast, this video is your ultimate guide to authentic Filipino food artistry. Subscribe for more videos exploring Filipino bakeries, street food, and culinary traditions. Join our channel community. We are glad to have you. If you loved this story, hit like and subscribe for more untold stories from the heart of the Philippines. Know someone with a story like this? Tell us in the comments. Let us know what you would like to see.
Yan.
Angat mo
Sige,
yung tinapay.
matagal. Okay yung gano'n kaya admitted na. Yan.
Yan. Isa pa. Yan.
Subo pa para ano, medyo makatotohan. Subo pa. Sige pa. O, subo pa, puto.